But I've never been very good at articulating emotions. I think that's probably just because I'm male. But the kind of the stresses of running your own business, I think, have kind of made that process a bit more extreme. I've always kind of been aware of being physically fit or trying to be physically fit, but I've never done the kind of the thought process of I need to be mentally fit. But it's definitely something something I'm a bit more conscious of now. Because I do have the kind of the highs and the lows, making that connection that it is like internal and there is something going on with my brain rather than it being anything else has been quite an interesting realization. But it's also, because you make that connection, it's then easier to kind of potentially try and work through. I've had a fairly kind of open online persona in the sense that I'm always there and posting stuff and all that kind of stuff. And kind of taking a step back from that, I think has very much helped in terms of finding that balance, because you're not just kind of, oh, everything's awesome, I'm smashing it, life is brilliant, I'm like really successful and all that kind of shit. You're a bit more authentic. Always kind of positive and bubbly and life is awesome and everyone's awesome. That didn't necessarily reflect what was going on inside. Or just not willing to share that life isn't always amazing. It's just being wholly open. People aren't willing to take that risk or aren't able to take that risk. And then you end up kind of feeling that, well, something's not quite right, what's going on? Where's that kind of problem coming from? And then it turns out it's the inauthentic kind of, not lying to yourself, but not being true to yourself. I've had a lot of like down periods, but I've been a lot more prepared and able to kind of process and deal with them. And everyone kind of has down periods, but I think compared to what was happening prior to kind of being aware of the mental health levels, I wouldn't have got through the last 6 months. Like when I'm really miserable, it's like really miserable, whether that's like not wanting to get out of bed or like having unpleasant thoughts about dealing with situations. And I think given how bad the downs could have been in the kind of the near kind of past, had I not been better able to kind of deal with them, that probably would have been an issue. I think it's a combination of being more able to process what's going on, but also more able to share that publicly. As I've said, I've never been very good at kind of sharing emotions and articulating them. There's nothing that you can do to prevent shit happening. If it's meant to happen, it will happen. You can't prepare yourself for that. You just got to deal with it when it happens. But it's just being able to prepare for it and then not prepare for it, but deal with it once it's happened. And then if you do everything that you can do, then the outcome is what the outcome is meant to be. Good and bad will happen, and you just have to kind of deal with it as it comes, and then off you go. Things have happened that I've dealt with much differently than I would have done prior to starting to deal with mental health. I've been pretty impressed at what I've been through and come out the back of. And I think that being able to deal with that from a mental point of view has massively helped. I went through a phase of whenever anyone would ask me how things were going, I was like, oh, it's going awesome, smashing it, life is good. When that didn't necessarily reflect what was actually going on. But being able to admit that things are pretty shit and life's not great, once you're able to get to that point and be honest about that, I think it's easier to kind of deal with and work through, which was a really weird realisation to get to, but quite a positive one.